He's sick. He needs help. He's sick. A jail term can't help him. He's sick. It's a mind thing. He's sick. For me, he's dead.
So how can we protect our daughters better?
I always tell women, you see, it always goes back to women. Manage your daughters. Teach them to be bold. Teach them to be confident. Confidence doesn't mean you're wearing mini skirts and you're wearing a strap dress and all the boys on the road are saying, yeah, she's pretty. No. Confidence means you're intelligent, you're smart. You're good at what you do. You're proud about who you are and who God has made you to be. And you're happy in yourself. When you're like that, when a man approaches you, you can shout back. When your child is not confident, when they approach her, she diminishes, she cows down. And most times, when she allows this rape, she doesn't speak up. So women must try. They must try and work hard for their daughters. They must ensure that they give their daughters the courage, the boldness. They must be their daughters' friends. And they must teach them above anything else to dress well, which means that they too must dress well. I love fashion, but I tell young girls, there's an age for everything. You don't walk out with a micro mini dress into a place, you understand, into a public event. Because you may have people who are with you, but their eyes that see you, that are looking for you in the dark corners. And you may just be on your way to the toilet. Rape takes 5 minutes and it's over, and your assailant has disappeared. So we must teach our children values. What are the right values in life? What are the values to be confident, to be honest, to be sure of yourself? And this is something mothers should do. And fathers, it is their responsibility to look after their daughters. Daughters need love to grow. And when your father loves you, hey, the world is at your feet.
Dr. Daniel, that matter of rebuilding confidence, a matter of guarding and protecting these ones, protecting the girl child, the female child, and the woman as a whole. How do we go about rebuilding values?
Just by teaching the children. We need to teach them from the home, like the issue she was handling. The girl must know that her father is also a man. He is your father, but then he is also a man. You need to be careful. You need to be watchful. There are limits that you can allow. Your father should treat you like a daughter, not like a prostitute, not like any other girl out there. Your father should see you as something to respect. Your integrity matters to you and to him also. So we need to teach them from the home. In schools, we need to reorientate our mindsets. The children need to know what is right and what is wrong, both boys and girls. We need to let them know that these things are not what we should emulate. There are good role models, there are bad role models. Every child should be able to identify who is a role model and who is a good role model or a bad role model. They know. These children know. Because you ask them, they tell you. But then, being able to express themselves, being able to be who they are, they need to understand that who you are matters. You shouldn't be another person. You shouldn't allow yourself to be lured into doing something else that originally, from your family background, you are not supposed to do it. You don't begin to do it because somebody else is doing it outside. No. I tell them, what you know you cannot do in the presence of your mom, don't do it when you are outside because your mom is not sitting down there. If you find yourself in America tomorrow, in London, your mom is not there with you, what will you be doing? Remember the family values. If my mom were to be sitting down here, I won't be doing this. And so I will not do it because other people are doing it. Be yourself. Be who you are. Before you do anything, remember your family. Whatever you do goes back to the family. Whatever you do goes back to the community. Whatever you do goes back to the country. And that is why, in the midst of other people out there, such like you just must, because they have this mentality or this understanding that the average Nigerian is something that, you understand? So it goes down like that to the family.
Okay.
Let us...
Bryce Toby, let's move from the family out. As they say, it starts from home, try to begin at home. But this growing trend, do you think globally enough efforts are being made to curb it? Because it's not just in Nigeria, it's global.
I know. Well, there's a lot of action. Different international NGOs.
I mean, there's a lot of action, but
A lot of action.
Pointed direction?
A lot of action. You know, first there's the noise, and then there's implementation. And it's a good thing. People are talking about it, which is good. More people are talking about it, which is better. And as people keep talking, advocacy is going on. People keep pressuring government. New laws are coming out. Tighter, the things are getting tighter, and people are pressured into doing the right thing. At least the incidence is, you know, I think globally we're making a lot of progress. You know, we're making a lot of progress. It may be slow, but we're moving. I don't want to be pessimistic because I look back like 20 years ago, 25 years ago, you know, you couldn't even, a lot of women couldn't even come out in America to speak and say they've been raped. I was reading a journal about people in the military, and they couldn't speak before. But 10 years, 5 years back, now a lot of women are coming forward to say they've been raped, they've been assaulted by men, by male officers, you know, and they were told not to speak. So, you know, the trend is changing. It's a little slow, but it's happening, and it will happen. It will happen. I'm definite about that.
Yeah, some people have said that this issue of violence against women, they say, okay, maybe because the woman is not empowered, she doesn't have economic powers, but we have seen women who also, you know, they're well-to-do when it comes to finances, but they are still in abusive relationships. So it transcends just that economic or maybe just that relationship. Are you thinking in the line of religion? So we don't hide under religion and say, okay, let her continue in this marriage, and at the end of the day, you know, the woman may be lost, and at the end of the day, the children she's trying to protect also will be open and vulnerable to all sorts of things after.
I'll tell you one thing. I think in Nigeria, culture and religion sometimes become the worst enemy we have. Why do I say culture is a good thing? But we know that any culture that is unfriendly has to be taken away. Religion is powerful, but it has become an opium. People go there and smoke a bit, and they feel good, and they move on to next week. And sometimes I ask, do you know, have you read exactly what the word says? I'll take a Christian woman, for instance. Your husband is beating her up. Husband says, husbands love your wife, and you turn your wife into a punching bag. Not only does she become the provider, she becomes a punching bag for you. And then you tell me that the Lord hates divorce. I don't know.
So how do we blend this?
You know, and I laugh. And I'd say to you, the Lord loves you first. God loves you. And if my Father loves me, he wouldn't want anybody to beat me up. So I need to go back to my father and ask my father, what's going on? Because I know God loves you. That's the most important thing. He loves you. He sent his son to die for you. He loves you. So if a man is punching you up, you need to go back to your father and ask him, is this part of the deal?
All right, as we close, in closing, please, Dr. Daniel, your final words.
We need to do a lot more in our homes. We need to let them know how to behave. The boy should know how to behave. The girl should know how to behave. The husband should know how to behave. The wife should know how to behave. One love brought them together. And they should remember the first day. How did we start? Go back to that. And there will be peace in the home.
I think, for me, my closing word would be that men, a country is made up of men, women, and children, no matter what categories, no matter what. And I believe men should really understand what it means to be a man. Women should understand what it means to be a woman. What is my role? What's my responsibility? A man, what's my role? What's my responsibility as a man? My duties to my neighbor as a man. And children should be taught their roles and their responsibilities as children, what is expected of them. And I believe that once everybody understands what their role and their responsibility is, as we understand our roles and responsibilities, we will be able to forge ahead. So as a man, you will look at a woman with dignity. It doesn't have to be your wife. It could be your neighbor. A woman, you will respect a man, not because he's your husband, but because he's a man. And I think children, you will respect elders, not because they're your parents, no, because that's the right thing to do. So I think we should go back and learn it.
To the values. Thank you so much for coming on this morning.
Thank you. We've been speaking to Dr. Angela Daniel, Executive Director, Women Entrepreneurs Association of Nigeria. Thank you for coming.
Thank you very much.
Barrister Obiageli Obi is of the Women in Politics and Governance.
Yes.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you so much.
Sunrise will be back in a moment. Please don't go away.